Dr. Arti Jain, and the topic which I have taken today for this talk is basically related to all of us. We all face this, and once a day at least we say this to ourselves or somebody. In one day, more than one time we use this term with all of us. And what is the term? बहुत stress हो रहा है. What is stress? Can anyone tell me what is stress? How do we define stress? What is basically stress? Anyone? Quick answer. Yes, sir.
When we are not able to perform our basic things that are needed, but we are not able to perform, that is the stress.
Okay. He said when we are not able to perform. Anybody else would like to change it? Any word out of the sentence? Yes, ma'am. When we are not able to fulfill our desire, when our desires don't get fulfilled, we feel stress. What else? You all must have felt stress. Every day we feel stress.
Yes.
From the morning, yesterday we had a half day, so today we got 5 minutes early to school. That we don't want a half day. So there was stress to reach school in time. Yes? Everybody? You will agree with me? There is stress for everything we do in our school, in our personal life. And sometimes this stress boggles up like anything. Sometimes this stress crowds our mind so much that it actually bursts out in different forms. And if it is bursting out, it is good. But if it is not bursting out, it is bad. It is a warning. It is a signal. It can lead to different disorders. And being a teacher, our job is very monotonous. We don't have a variety of job. We don't have a corporate job. So our job is very monotonous. And hence, we have this stress more. And being in a private sector, our stress multiplies many times. There are pressure from everywhere. Parental pressure, principal pressure, management pressure, student pressure, and our own personal life pressure. Dealing with all these pressures becomes difficult at times. Do you agree with me, all of you?
Yes.
Yes. So let us now discuss what is stress, what all kind of stress can be there, and more importantly, how we can cope with that stress. Before I begin, how many of you really feel that yes, we need something to develop in ourselves so that we can cope with the stress in a better way? How many of you feel? Speak up.
Yes.
You all feel, I'm sure, even if somebody will ask me in a seminar, do you want to relieve your stress? I will say yes. I want the easiest solution to relieve my stress, because we all are victim of stress. All of us are victim of stress, one way or the other, right? So what is basically stress? It is your body's automatic response to anything. If there is a call at 12:30 in the night, what is the first thought coming to your mind? Something wrong happened. Yes? We all are conditioned like that, that 12:30 in the night, the phone if is ringing, there is some bad news. We are so conditioned. Yes? So that is the body's automatic response would be, you feel that your body gets cold, you might start sweating before even picking up the phone. Yes or no? Yes? So any stimulus, any event, anything which is demanding on your sensory nervous system, on your thought process, is stress. Okay? It can be anything from a very normal thing, like what is the menu which we need to decide for the party which we have at the weekend, or what are the lesson plans this time we want to make, or what do I want to give to my wife on our anniversary, or if you have forgotten the anniversary of yourself, what will happen? That is a big stress. Or you've forgotten the birthday of a very, very important person in your life. You did not wish. Do you carry that stress? All of us do. Or if you wanted something and your boss denied, especially leave. So the person who one fine day was very good now becomes bad because your demands were not met, and there is stress. You start having negative thoughts about this. But is all stress negative? Till now we feel that yes, it is negative, whatever we talk. But do you think stress can be positive also? How? How stress can be positive? Anybody? Yes, Abhishek.
Today is the last day to submit all the things, so this I have completed till I have all the work.
Very good, very good. Give a big hand to Abhishek. Really covered. So that is what? Positive stress means when you are ready to meet the deadlines and you are carrying the stress to meet the deadline. So you are able to meet the deadline. That is a positive stress. And if you are not able to meet the deadline, now what is going to happen? Some penalty, some scolding, some demarcation of things. So many things are going to happen. Yes or no?
Yes.
So that is a negative stress. So there are two kinds of stress. Eustress and distress. Eustress is good for health. Distress is bad for your health. So let's all collectively talk about eustress. That we will take eustress, but we will not take distress. Now, is it a choice? Is it a choice? क्या ये choice है हमारे पास कि हम stress ले लें या ना लें? Then you read this line. The only person without stress is a only dead bodies do not have stress. So being a human being, a functioning human being, we all are going to have stress, whether it is positive or negative, but we all are going to have stress. Any kind of stress. Question is that this stress, what does it do to our body? And what causes this stress? What could be the causes of stress? Anybody? Major life events. What are the major life events? Examination, accident in family, death in family, some major firing at the job, major financial loss. Anybody? Relationship breakup? Yes? Anything else? What are the causes?
Salary.
Huh? Salary not coming in time, financial stress I said, no increments at job, a stress, relationship breakup, a stress, child not getting entrance exam cleared, a stress, wife not supporting you, a stress, husband being a substance abuser, a stress, isn't it? Husband not earning anything and you are the sole earner of the family, is it a stress? Huh? Living away, different places you are living and surviving, is it a stress? Long distance relationship, is it a stress? So major life events can all be your triggers to stress. What else? Trauma. Trauma means death, accident, anything, even pandemic. For some people, pandemic or corona was a big cause of depression. So many people died because of depression after pandemic. So that was loneliness can be a one factor. When you are too lonely, socio-economic stresses when I talk about, so it's about when you are not able to establish relationship with people around you. When you feel that everybody is an enemy. When you feel that हर कोई मेरा दुश्मन है दुनिया में, nobody loves me. Or when you feel that everybody is against me. Or when you feel that I have no place, no social standing. Or there is a very common thing, I have been doing so much for somebody, but I never get anything in return. And in such situations, what is the one line which we say? Why me? What is the one line we say? Why? There are times when I have said, I've heard people saying, I feel like running away from all this. I feel like किसी किसी दिन ऐसा मन होता है यहाँ से भाग जाए. और इंडिया में बहुत कॉमनली यूज टर्म है हिमालय चले जाएं. यस यस और नो. हम में से हर कोई कभी ना कभी ये बात जरूर कहता है हम हिमालय चले जाएं, हम कहीं दूर चले जाएं जहाँ हमें कोई भी नहीं पहचानता. वी ऑल फेस दिस. जिंदगी में हम में से हर किसी ने एक न एक बार ये बात कही है अपने आप से या किसी और से, है ना? दैट इज योर सोशियो इकोनॉमिक स्ट्रेसर. ओके, देन यू हैव सोशल स्ट्रेसर व्हिच इज द बिगेस्ट टैबू नाउअडेज विथ द सोशल नेटवर्किंग साइट्स, स्पेशली इंस्टाग्राम एंड फेसबुक. Every day I see an advertisement from another school on Instagram, my heartbeats grow up. This could be my social stress. Yours could be when people are roaming around in Kashmir and you are working like mad in the night at 2 o'clock preparing question paper. When you see a post from your friend who has recently been attending a very nice party, drinking and driving and masti and all, and what you are doing? You are sitting with children in the class and you are facing the stress, or you have been recently scolded by the principal very badly. So that thing causes stress. Your boss says, to hell with you. Matter of stress. Social status is a big stress, especially in families, friends. In your family, everybody is very rich and you are not. Cause of stress. In your family, everybody is very beautiful and you are not. Cause of stress. There are so many things, and we all are carrying all this stress. We all have been carrying all these stress every day in, day out. We are carrying this. Sometimes we share it, sometimes we ignore it, sometimes we humor it. But we do carry all this kind of stress. So there are all these common causes of stress, which are the common triggers. There are occupational stress, which we just talked about. Nutritional stress factors, like me. I'm stressed because I'm quite obese. So I feel that even if I don't eat much, why am I putting on so much of weight? For someone it could be, why I am not putting on weight in spite of eating so much. Right? So these are all nutritional stress. Sometimes you are not able to get enough nutrition. You are not able to get enough magnesium, potassium, or whatever we call it. We don't get enough nutrition in our body, and hence the body is not supporting you. That is a cause of stress. Yes? Is it or not? Substance abuse. Substance abuse is basically drinks, alcohol, and drugs. So somebody in the family is doing anything of that sort, or you yourself have fallen into it. Either or case. You are a victim of it. That is one of the reasons. Pandemic, we just discussed. Pandemic was a big cause of stress because people had to be cut off from rest of the world. I mean, there have been cases. When I do counseling, I had a couple. This couple, they were not on talking terms and they were locked during lockdown. And they had to live together for those 42 days, first 42 days of lockdown. And they were like, wow. And they literally did not just kill each other during those 42 days because it was so stressful for them to live together. And finally, after that, they separated. So pandemic was a big cause of stress. There can be many such things. You can have physical stress. Now when we say stress reactions, when I talk about physical stress, how does stress affect you physically? So physically we all feel it. Palpitations, heartbeats, headaches, blood pressure. Sometimes it leads to cardiac arrest, cardiac attack. These are all physical effects of stress. Now stress, don't take it very lightly. Stress can lead to all these things immediately. We recently had read about this girl who fell down and died. There was a lot of stress. Right? Stress can cause so much. It can lead you to BP, blood pressure, high blood pressure, cardiac arrest, cardiac attacks, so many things. All kind of physical illness, palpitations. In our school, children, they are so stressed. The other day I was talking to a girl, she said, I just don't want to live. I want to die, ma'am. In our school, it is a girl, I will not name the girl. But she's saying, I don't want to live, ma'am. I want to die. I feel like running away from all this. Such a young age. What is your stress? Two stress. One, my family doesn't care about me. Two, my boyfriend dumped me. Is this the way our children are being carried out? And why they are having this thought? We want to die or we want to run away? Because they are not able to handle this stress. So physically it leads to so many different problems. Psychologically, you can have emotional burnout. You can cry, you have weeping disorders. You can start crying all of a sudden. And you don't know what is the reason. It happens with anybody when you're just sitting and crying and you don't even know the reason why I am crying. What's wrong with me? मैं क्यों रो रही हूँ? मुझे नहीं पता मैं क्यों रो रहा हूँ, मुझे नहीं पता. But ये हो रहा है मेरे साथ. आंसू निकल रहे हैं मेरे. You start crying. You have emotional blackout. You just don't remember anything. Blackout हो जाता है. Memories erase हो रही हैं आपकी. You are not able to respond properly. आपका फ्रेंड कुछ कह रहा है, आप उसको जवाब ही नहीं दे पा रहे जो आप नॉर्मली दे रहे थे. अचानक से ऐसा होता है, लोग पीपल स्टार्ट टॉकिंग, क्या हुआ है आपको, व्हाट्स रॉन्ग विथ यू, कुछ हुआ है क्या, एंड यू डोंट नो व्हाट्स रॉन्ग विथ यू. ऐसा हुआ होगा हम सभी के साथ, where we don't know what's wrong with us. Yes, has it happened with any one of you? Yes, it has happened, right? We don't even know, but that is your stress which is coming out psychologically. And then when we talk about psychosocial stress, you don't want to go out and mix with people. You don't want to talk to anybody. You don't want to
introvert.
हाँ
Introvert बना देते हैं.
हाँ, you withdraw yourself from society. In psychosocial stress, you withdraw yourself from everybody. You want to be left alone. But when you are alone, you don't feel good. You have suicidal thoughts. I have seen patients, I have seen clients who start developing suicidal thoughts because of all this. So these are the impact of the stress which we are facing day in, day out. It can be any kind of stress. I just listed out few, but there can be so many different reasons. So many different kind of reasons where you are having this stress. Today, for business people, if I talk about, today the business was not good. During pandemic, hotel business flopped. During pandemic, our business, education business flopped. People were given half salary, 40% salary, and they survived somehow. Their entire life's budget crashed during those 3 years, 2 years. Yes? And still people are coping up with that. Those people who lost their jobs during that or who lost their relatives during that, they're still coping up with that. And we all, at this school, when we are talking about, we also have a lot of stress. Yes or no? You agree with me when I say that? Now the thing is, what to do? There are two different kinds of stress. Let me talk about more technically. Acute stress and chronic stress. When I say acute stress is where your body is now, you are not able to cope up at all. You are not sharing with anybody. The stress level releases certain hormones in your body. And these hormones, sometimes they get you overwhelmed. And you start becoming too active, and sometimes this activeness goes to that level. It is becoming peril, it becomes dangerous. So much so that people commit suicide. Acute stress is generally happening for 3 days to 1 month's time. That due to some trauma, due to some event, you had a stress, and because of this you had this. But if this stress is not taken care of that very time, it could lead to chronic stress. And when it gets into chronic stress, it becomes for a longer duration of time. It goes on and on and on for a very long period of time. And here, if we are not aware, if we are not taking care of ourselves or the people who are associated with us, who are going through this, I'm telling you, it's threatening, life threatening. You might need a help of a counselor or a psychiatrist. Sometimes it leads to taking medications. And when we take medication for stress, depressions, anxiety, it can also lead to general anxiety disorder, that is GAD, which we call. It can lead to, this stress can lead to GAD, and once you develop GAD, you have to get into medications. And once you start taking medications, mind it, there are two things. You can never stop that medication. 1, 2, it has very high side effects on your body. Because all these medicines which are given for anxiety, stress or depression, they all make you go numb. आपको सुला देते हैं, आपके सेंसेस को नंब कर देते हैं ताकि आपकी सोचने समझने की ताकत खत्म हो जाए ना. धीरे धीरे जब वो अंदर जाता है, it is a kind of poison when it gets inside. It has its own side effects. So stress, when we commonly very lightly use बहुत stress हो रहा है, don't take it so lightly. This is what I wanted to talk to you, because this stress, when it becomes chronic, it is really killing. It is very, very bad. So we were talking about physiological stress. I just talked about emotional, psychological. When we talk about cognitive stress, what are the cognitive symptoms? So cognitive symptoms of stress are you start developing amnesia, memory loss. There is somebody in front of you. You talk to that person for 2-3 minutes, but you don't know who he or she is. कितने लोगों के साथ हुआ ऐसा कि आपने मिले, बात कर ली और आपको याद ही नहीं आया है बात करने के बाद कि ये था कौन। मेरे साथ तो बहुत बार होता है, याद ही नहीं आता था कौन। यस, कई बार ऐसा होता है वो एक टेलीफोन नंबर मुझे याद था, वो एक बंदे का नाम मुझे याद था, बट यू आर नॉट एबल टू रिमेंबर। व्हाई? मेमोरी लॉस। यू आर नॉट एबल टू लर्न। आप याद नहीं रख पाते, आप सीख नहीं पाते। यू आर नॉट एबल टू लर्न न्यू स्किल। दैट इज योर cognitive loss. Physiological and psychological we have already discussed earlier. Social and behavioral, when we talk about again the same thing, you are not able to adjust yourself in the society. You feel everybody is an enemy. हर कोई मेरा दुश्मन है. Nobody loves me, nobody cares about me, and I don't want to go and sit with people. I want to be left alone. And when you are alone, you have all kind of thoughts. So that's very important to know that if any of these symptoms, when I say physical, psychological, physiological, I talk about, I said you have palpitations, you have sweating, you have heartbeat rate increasing, you have headaches, you have sleeplessness, you are not able to sleep. Either you sleep too much or you sleep too less. Either you eat too much or you are not feeling like eating. If any of these symptoms are there, it is the start of anxiety. Okay, it is the start of anxiety. If you are emotionally withdrawing yourself from everybody, आप अगर emotionally अपने आप को सबसे withdraw कर रहे हैं, again it is a concern, matter of concern, because आप stress में हैं जो आपको समझ में नहीं आ रहा है। तो अपने आसपास आप जब भी लोगों को observe करेंगे, and if you find any of these symptoms, it is an alarming situation, and you need to take care of all these things. Now, what are the techniques before we go for that? Any questions till now about stress or anything? Any questions? Yes, sir.
बहुत से लोग ऐसे होते हैं जिनकी मतलब माइंड में स्ट्रेस से चलता रहता है, रात में नींद नहीं आती, तो बहुत से लोग ऐसा भी करते हैं कि जैसे हमने बताया था मेडिकेशन लेना, तो बहुत सारे लोग ऐसे होते हैं कि जो मेडिकेशन वगैरह नहीं लेके दिन भर का स्ट्रेस होते हैं, उन्हें रात में नींद नहीं आती, तो अल्कोहल ड्रिंक करके
Substance abuse, it will lead, it is a negative cycle. कि आपने स्ट्रेस में सबसे ड्रग्स लिए, अल्कोहल लिया, साइकिल चलता है। आपने अल्कोहल लिया, अल्कोहल की वजह से आपका नेगेटिविटी बढ़ा, आपकी बॉडी के वो हार्मोन्स रिलीज हुए जो आपको फिर से अल्कोहल की तरफ ड्रैग करते हैं, और ये नेगेटिव साइकिल चलता रहता है, राइट। और ये नेगेटिव साइकिल फिर एक दिन ऐसा हो जाता है कि जो ले रहा है, जो खुद स्ट्रेस में, खाली वो स्ट्रेस में नहीं रहता है, फैमिली, फ्रेंड्स, प्रोफेशनल लाइफ, सारे सर्कल्स आपके उसमें इन्वॉल्व हो जाते हैं, द होल थिंग गोज बैड. So when you get into substance abuse, it is not only you who is suffering. It is all the people in the vicinity are the ones who are suffering. Your family, your immediate relatives, your profession, your social life, everybody is suffering. So when you say that this is one way of relieving, no, it is not a way. It is just escaping. It is escape route. They just want to forget. कोई numbness वाली बात जो मैंने आपको बताई, जो मेडिसिन दिया जाता है फॉर एंजाइटी, वो जो मेडिसिन है वो क्या है? दैट इज नंबिंग योर सेंसेस. एंड व्हाट डज अल्कोहल डू? numbs your senses, right? So it does not allow you to think. It takes you, gives you waves, so you are enjoying those waves in that particular moment, but then it gets into a negative cycle. So it's very important to identify these symptoms. आपके आसपास में किसी के बीच में ये symptoms है तो identify करिए, counsel them. First thing, क्या करना चाहिए? Now we talk about remedies. क्या करना चाहिए? तो first thing, first step is talk to the person. खुद स्ट्रेस में तो आप किसी से बात करो, अगर कोई और स्ट्रेस में है तो आप उससे बात करो, उससे बोलो कि आप बताना शुरू करो क्या हुआ है. Because the best healing would be sharing. Best healing would be sharing. पर आप हर किसी से शेयर नहीं कर सकते, बिकॉज आपके अंदर एक सोशल स्टिग्मा होता है कि आज मैंने जिससे शेयर किया, कल उसने अगर मेरा मजाक उड़ाना शुरू कर दिया तो क्या होगा. तो फिर यू शुड शेयर इट विद सम पर्सन जिसको आप ट्रस्ट करते हो, राइट. यू शुड, एंड इफ यू आर द पर्सन जो किसी से बात कर रहा है, तो आपको इतना उसको ये रैपॉर्ट बिल्डिंग करना पड़ेगा कि सामने वाले को ये लगे कि जो भी मैंने इनसे कहा है ये किसी से भी नहीं कहेंगे. फर्स्ट थिंग इज sharing. Now there are few different methods which we can do. The best way is take a walk in nature. The psychologists, researchers have proved that 20 minutes of walk with nature every day releases some hormones which keep you away from all kind of stress. Only 20 minutes walk with nature, morning, evening, anytime, decide. And I think each one of us should give this privilege to ourselves. हम किसी भी rat race में बहुत अच्छा thought था आज कि when you are running in a rat race, even if you win, you are still a rat. जब आप चूहे वाली दौड़ कर रहे हो, आप जीत भी जाते हो तो होता आप चूहा ही. You don't become human being then. You still remain a rat. So this rat race, this earning, ये भूख जो हमारी है, या हमारी मजबूरी है, जो भी है, पर जो कुछ है वो कब तक है? जब तक हम स्वस्थ हैं, मेंटली एंड फिजिकली. यस और नो? तो इस रैट रेस में किसी भी मजबूरी में सबसे पहले हमें अपने आप को ये गिफ्ट देना चाहिए दैट वी गिव 20 मिनट्स ऑफ अ डे टू आवरसेल्व्स वेयर वी आर गोइंग फॉर अ वॉक, अ सोलो वॉक, walk with friend, whatever, but there you should be able to reflect. So the first thing which I will suggest is 20 minutes walk in nature every day. Other techniques include breathing. Pranayam is a very good way, but there are different techniques. I will teach you one technique right after this which helps in immediate release. Breathing is one way of releasing all kind of stress, because when you breathe in a rhythm, whenever you breathe in a rhythm, the body releases the hormones which kills the hormones of stress. So it's all a game of hormones. So breathing techniques, then more important, develop routines that work for you. We all are working, right? So we know what are our working hours. We all know what will be the schedule for next day. Once in a while it's okay that your schedule disturbs. But if you create a routine for yourselves, if you become organized in everything, like for example, you keep everything at the same place where you pick up from. You don't have to look for it. Why you get late? Because you are looking for things. Especially if you remember, my keys are not there, my mobile phone is missing, where is my bag? I lost the book, yesterday I kept it here. So if you have a specific place for something, if you have developed a routine, if you keep those things at places, that will help you. That will not lead you to stress. So that is avoiding the stressors. Avoiding the stressors. These are all stress points. Yes? Getting late and all. Then power down blue screen. What do you mean by blue screen?
Mobile television.
Mobiles, iPads and television screen. Power down blue screen. The scientists, the psychologists, they say that before sleeping, half an hour, 30 minutes before sleeping, you should keep away all the gadgets. All the gadgets should be kept away 30 minutes before sleeping. And what happens in our houses? Let's be honest. We sleep with those mobile phones. We are watching reels and then we are sleepy and then we sleep. Yes or no? Am I right? So keep away blue screens. That is very important because that is the biggest reason. And organize your stress triggers. What do you mean by organizing your stress triggers? Now, when you are doing what you should do, first thing is take a piece of paper. Write down all your problems. Write down all your problems. Now put a tick on the problems you can solve yourself. Can you do that? You can put a tick on all the problems you can solve yourself. Then there are certain problems which you cannot do anything about it. What should be done? Accept them. Nothing can be done. I did whatever I could. I cannot do beyond this, so I have to accept it. It's very important. Problem is this acceptance is not there. We don't have this acceptance in us. We keep talking things about anybody and everybody, but we never ever accept people, place and things as and how they are. How many of you do that? Let's raise your hand. I accept people, place and things as they are. None of us. And this is the biggest thing. So put a cross on those things where you cannot do anything about it. Tear the paper. Repeat. Keep repeating this till you accept that, okay, These are the things I can't do anything about. Okay? Okay? How many of you will try? How many will you try? Please try.
I got my solution. What I have to do?
Good.
There is one question.
हाँ.
से डेली एक ही सेम रूटीन को फॉलो करना भी एक तरीके का स्ट्रेस है।
रूटीन को डेली फॉलो करना स्ट्रेस नहीं है, रूटीन को ऑर्गेनाइज करना है आपको। मैंने ये नहीं कहा, मैंने ये तो आपको पहले ही कहा कि हमारी लाइफ एक मोनोटोनस लाइफ है, एक फिक्स शेड्यूल है। सुबह उठना है, खाना बनाना है, स्कूल आना है, स्कूल से घर जाना है, कुछ लोग ट्यूशन पढ़ा रहे हैं, कुछ कर रहे हैं, कोई किसी का कोई बिजनेस है, किसी का कुछ है, रात को सोना है, फिर से वही करना है।
वो ज्यादा मैंने जिंदगी ऐसी हो गई रोज एक ही।
हाँ, तो संडे मिलता है,
संडे में भी
तो संडे को हम क्या करते हैं? संडे को हम क्या करते हैं? हम संडे में अपने लिए 20 मिनट भी नहीं निकालते, जो निकाल सकते हैं हम सभी। जब हम रोज सुबह 6 बजे स्कूल के लिए उठ रहे हैं, संडे के दिन खुद के लिए क्यों नहीं उठते? संडे के दिन रोज सुबह 6 बजे उठ रहे हैं अपने स्कूल के लिए, संडे के दिन खुद के लिए उठो, सुबह 6 बजे एक कप चाय लो, एक म्यूजिक सिस्टम लो और कहीं अच्छी जगह जाकर बैठ जाओ। एक अच्छी कंपनी अगर मिल जाती है तो ठीक है, नहीं तो खुद की कंपनी एंजॉय करो। करके देखना, आपकी जिंदगी बदल जाएगी। It will change because it has changed. मैंने करके दिखा सर। I have done and I have found a lot of change in my life after that. But this, ये जिम्मेदारी कौन लेगा खुद के लिए? Who will take this responsibility? हमारी प्रॉब्लम ये है कि हम जिंदगी भर पॉइंट आउट ही करते रहते हैं, पर जब तक हम अपने आप को इवैल्यूएट नहीं करेंगे, जब तक हम अपने आप को सेल्फ रिफ्लेक्शन मोड में नहीं डालेंगे, अरे यू आर नॉट इन लव विथ योरसेल्फ। प्रॉब्लम इज दैट you are not in love with yourself. You love everything else but yourself, and that's the problem. मैं जिससे प्यार करते हैं उसके लिए तो जान देने को तैयार है, खुद के लिए क्यों नहीं करते? खुद से प्यार नहीं करते, है ना? बच्चे को कुछ हो जाए, जान निकल जाती है, निकलती है। Yes, those who are mothers and fathers, जरा सा कुछ हो जाता है बच्चे को, आंखों में से आंसू निकलने लगते हैं हमारे, क्योंकि हम बच्चे को अपनी जान से ज्यादा प्यार करते हैं। खुद को चोट लगती है तो क्या करते हैं? हाँ ठीक है, बाद में देखेंगे, पहले काम तो निपटा लें। स्ट्रेस ये हमने खुद बिल्ड किया है। सो इफ यू आर नॉट इन लव विथ योरसेल्फ, आप दूसरों से क्यों उम्मीद करते हो कि वो आपसे प्यार करें? अगर आप अपने आप से प्यार नहीं कर सकते तो कोई और आपसे प्यार क्यों करेगा? Why would somebody else love you if you don't even love? अगर आपको ये लगता है मैं प्यार करने लायक नहीं हूं, तो कोई और आपसे प्यार क्यों करेगा? और अगर आप प्यार करने लायक हो तो लव योरसेल्फ। बट हमारी जिंदगी की प्रायोरिटीज बहुत अलग हैं, हम खुद से प्यार करते हैं, और इसीलिए फिर हम जब बहुत सारा स्ट्रेस इकट्ठा होता है तो हम बीपी की दवाई खाने को तैयार हैं, पैसा खर्च करके। फ्री में वॉक में नहीं जाएंगे जो नेचर में हवा पानी मिल रहा है, नहीं, हम बीपी की दवाई खाएंगे। कार्डियक अरेस्ट होगा तो हम पूरी जिंदगी के लिए ब्लड थिनर मेडिसिन खाएंगे। एंजाइटी होगी, साइकेट्रिस्ट के पास जाएंगे, एंजोपैम खाएंगे, पर वॉक करने नहीं जाएंगे। क्यों? क्योंकि सुबह जल्दी नहीं उठना है हमें। वी डोंट वांट टू ट्रीट आवरसेल्व्स, हम अपने आप को ट्रीट नहीं देते हैं। हमारी लाइफ की सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम ये है कि हम अपने आप को इंपॉर्टेंस देते नहीं। घर का जितना भी बेस्ट बेडशीट है, बेस्ट क्रॉकरी है, बेस्ट जो भी सब है, वो कब निकलता है? वो आपकी जिंदगी में ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, आपको वही नहीं। घर में सबसे सारे कपड़े पहन के घूमेंगे हम, क्यों? आपके घर वालों को अधिकार नहीं है कि वो आपको अच्छे से देखें? घर जाते ही सबसे पहले हम क्या करते हैं? टी शर्ट और पुराना शॉर्ट्स पहन कर घूम रहे हैं। बॉयज के केस में मैंने बहुत देखा है, गर्ल्स भी आजकल यही करने लगी, टी शर्ट और शॉर्ट्स। आई सेड टू माय डॉटर इन लॉ वंस, why do you want my son to look at you like that? Why don't you be at your best so that my son can enjoy your beauty every day, every night? She understood. Now she doesn't wear it. अब वो घर में तैयार होकर ही रहती, बस मेकअप नहीं करती, पर तैयार होकर ही रहती है। हम क्यों नहीं? हम अपने हमारे आसपास जो लोग जिनके साथ 24 घंटे रहना है, उनके लिए हमें तैयार नहीं होना है। शादी में जाने के लिए बहुत सारा तैयार हो जाएंगे, और वो लोग जो हमें मिलेंगे उसमें से 50 लोग कहेंगे वाकई में अच्छे तैयार हुए, 50 कहेंगे हैं ज्यादा मेकअप कर रहे हैं, बहुत निद्रा रही है। Yes or no? Yes. It's a fact because we are also doing it. हम भी तो कर रहे हैं किसी और के लिए। Yes or no? So first thing is this: start loving yourself. Once you start loving yourself, everything else will fall in line. But first you have to love yourself. Okay? So we'll do two things right now. Two techniques I'm going to teach you to release the stress, immediate stress relievers. One is a breathing technique and then there is another, a balloon technique. Okay? First we will do the breathing technique. Okay? So in this technique, what we will do is, when I say 1, 2, 3, you will breathe in. Okay? With your eyes closed. And then I will ask you to hold. So hold your breath for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then release. 1, 2. We'll do 3 cycles of this. Are you all in?
Yes.
Whatever things you feel are wrong about you, आपको लगता है ये मेरी खामियां हैं, ये मेरी गलतियां हैं, उनको सोचिए एक एक करके. चाहे वो कुछ भी हो, कोई अल्कोहल लेता है तो वो, कोई किसी को पिटाई करता है तो वो, किसी को ईर्ष्या है, एनवी है तो वो, गुस्सा बहुत आता है तो वो, आप प्रोकास्टिनेट बहुत ज़्यादा करते हैं, काम को टालते बहुत हैं तो वो, मक्कारी करते हैं अगर आप तो वो, झूठ बोलते हैं तो, जो भी आपको लगता है ये मेरी कमजोरियां हैं, उनके बारे में सोचिए. फिर वो सारी प्रॉब्लम्स के बारे में सोचिए जो अभी आपकी लाइफ में चल रही हैं. फिर चाहे वो जॉब से रिलेटेड हो, पर्सनल लाइफ से रिलेटेड हो, फ्रेंड्स से रिलेटेड हो, आपके एम्बिशंस हो जो मीट नहीं हो रहे हैं, whatever problems which causes you immediate stress, उनके बारे में सोचिए. Now think that आपके हाथ में एक ब्लैक कलर का बलून है. आप उस बलून को अपने मुंह पे लगाएंगे and you will blow the balloon. बलून फुलाएंगे आप. Just blow the balloon. उसको ब्लो कीजिए. ब्लो दैट बलून. और बलून ब्लो करके उसमें वो सारी वीकनेसेस जो भी आपने सोची थी वो एक एक करके उस बलून में डालते जाइए. एनवी इन, गुस्सा इन, कोई भी पाप किया इन, किसी को हर्ट किया इन, मक्कारी की इन, जो भी आपने किया वो सब उसमें बलून में डालते जाइए. जो भी आपकी प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, जो भी आपकी इमीडिएट प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, उनको भी एक एक करके बलून में डालो. सैलरी टाइम पे नहीं मिल रही है, इंक्रीमेंट नहीं हो रहा है, प्रिंसिपल पसंद नहीं है, या कलीग्स अच्छे नहीं हैं, हस्बैंड अच्छा नहीं है, वाइफ अच्छी नहीं है, बच्चे अच्छे नहीं है, किस्मत अच्छी नहीं है, जो भी प्रॉब्लम्स आपको लग रही है वो सब उस बलून में एक एक करके डाल दीजिए. बलून फुला चुके हैं आप, बलून के अंदर आपने वो सारी प्रॉब्लम्स डाल दी हैं. अगर आपको लगता है और भी कुछ बचा है तो आई एम गिविंग यू 30 seconds ऑफ टाइम. डाल दीजिए उस बलून में जो भी कुछ है उसको डाल दीजिए. Whatever it is, put it inside. Once you have done that, उस बलून को ऊपर से गठान लगाइए. Tie the balloon. Tie that balloon. कस की गठान लगा दीजिए उसमें, ऐसी कि उसमें से कुछ भी बाहर ना निकले. कस के हमने उसमें गठान लगा दिए. अब उसको अपने राइट हैंड में होल्ड कीजिए बलून को, कि हमने उस बलून को अपने राइट हैंड में पकड़ रखा है और कस के पकड़ रखा है, जाने नहीं दे रहे हम. और अब मैं आपको ये कह रही हूं, लेट इट गो. जाने दो उसको, छोड़ दो उस बलून को. लेट द बलून फ्लाई एंड सी दैट बलून इज फ्लाइंग हाई अप इन द स्काई. ऊपर जा रहा है, जाते हुए दिख रहा है हमें. इट इज गोइंग अप 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 अप, और ऊपर जा रहा है, और ऊपर जा रहा है, और ऊपर जा रहा है. बहुत छोटा सा दिख रहा है हमें, बहुत छोटा सा, और ऊपर जा रहा है. जाते 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 इट इज इनविजिबल, हमें नहीं दिख रहा है. और फिर हमें एक बूम करके साउंड आता है. एंड एवरीथिंग दैट इज देयर हैज बीन रिलीज्ड. नाउ आई एम एम्प्टी. अब मैं बिल्कुल खाली हूं. मेरे अंदर अब कोई भी निगेटिविटी नहीं है. मैं अपना सारा स्ट्रेस, मैं अपनी सारी वीकनेसेस उस बलून के जरिए बाहर कर चुका हूं. आई हैव नथिंग. आई एम एम्प्टी. आई एम अ प्योर सोल, एज इफ आई एम न्यूली बोर्न. मैं अभी जब बच्चा पैदा होता है तो उसको कोई स्ट्रेस नहीं होता. मैं एक न्यूली बोर्न चाइल्ड हूं. एंड आई एम फीलिंग वेरी कंफर्टेबल इन माई मदर्स आर्म्स. फील कीजिए कि आप अपनी मदर की आर्म में हैं, अभी न्यू बॉर्न हैं, और आपको बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है बिकॉज योर मदर इज कैरेसिंग यू. आपकी मदर आपको प्यार से सहला रही है. फील दैट टच ऑफ योर मदर एंड फील गुड अबाउट इट. यू आर कोजी, यू आर कंफर्टेबल, यू आर सेफ, यू आर सिक्योर. आप सुरक्षित हैं, आराम से हैं, बहुत warm feel कर रहे हैं and you are good. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. With a smile on your face, you open your eyes. Thank you so much.